police aren't going to do anything about it, because you call the police and you may never see them, they may not ever even come out, the graffiti doesn't go away. The reality is the report does go in the system, and after it comes up to a certain level, it starts showing up on the managers and the supervisors' desks, and it also serves as backup later when something larger happens, they can go back to that record and use that. So even though you probably won't get a black and white, I mean, unless somebody's in danger or something bad's going on, you won't get a black and white out there. 10660 White Oak, okay, remember that. Report that address, what's going on. If somebody's hanging over the wall, leering, shouting obscenities, or throwing glass on the sidewalk, make the report, and know that after, I think it's just 3 reports on the same address within a month, that shows up on the senior lead officer's hot sheet. And they generally, now Janine already knows about this place, but when it shows up on her hot sheet, she's going to go see him again. And that starts building the case, could be a year down the line, when the city attorney says, you know what, this place is a nuisance. And they can actually raise it to the level, it takes a long time. We've had much worse cases we've dealt with, and it takes a couple of years, but the city attorney will order the eviction of the offending tenant and force the landlord to get him out. It takes a really long time, but hopefully we don't have to go there. Hopefully we can do something a little more expedient. But if we do, start today. Start right now.
But then with the calls, but also also with the car break-ins or any kind of burglaries, any kind of any crime, you've got to make sure the police gets out there. You've got to make sure that a formal report is written. That's even stronger than phone calls. You've got to make sure the report is written. Whether the police come out is kind of up to them, but you've got to make sure that report gets written.
And we've got to get our next meeting last Wednesday of the month, so last Wednesday of March. I'm going to make a push to get the owner of this place and the property owner out here. Whether they'll come or not, I don't know, but we'll try. But we need lots of people. So talk to your neighbors. Give them the date. Sorry, I don't have it offhand, but the last Wednesday of March, 7 o'clock here, and let's try and get a bunch of people. So if this guy shows up, or if they show up, they're going to be answering to all the people who live around.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So like the meeting on the 11th would be a good benchmark for this.
Do you think they'll be showing up on the 11th? Like the city attorneys?
I doubt they know about it.
Well, might be good for them to be there.
I mean, no, they're supposed to be there because they're there for another purpose. But we can talk to them about anything.
We could ask them to show up over there.
Well, it's
right next door, so it's not like they'd have to go far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go over there and invite them to that too. I think y'all live on Kingsbury, right?
Yes. We can walk to that.
Yeah. I ride by. I'm the guy you see on a bicycle.
So again, so that as many residents that we can get to show up there, and I'll work on White Oak. The best, because when they see all these people here, and you can take them over and show them.
Well, don't forget that meeting's going to have a particular agenda. You may or may not be able to direct this issue onto the
let's
radar
impress
there.
them by how
You can force
an
issue. You can force an issue if enough people want to talk about it.
Yeah. If you got all the neighbors to show up there, and they're all, and you're like, this facility right here, everybody's going, yeah, it's bad, and that'll definitely get their attention.
Is that a better forum than here, though?
It's they're all good forums. That one you're going to have. Is it Mike Fuhrer that's coming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have the city attorney. So that's a darn good forum
to where we're talking.
To
he's the big. He don't get any higher.
Express the problem. Here we can talk a longer time about it and come up with some specific actions that we can follow up. Mike Fuhrer is going to go back to his office and say, wow, boy, there are a lot of people complaining about this place. He's going to hand it off to a deputy.
His deputy.
Which is good, because then we'll find out who that deputy is, and we'll invite them to our next meeting, and we'll try and keep something going on it.
And I think it's probably going to end up being one of those city prosecutors we saw tonight.
I think you can kind of, instead of waiting till the 11th, I think it's good if Eric or whoever's handling this contacts Elaine, the city prosecutor,
I said I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
He's gonna contact tomorrow, and
This
then
this is just.
we're gonna meet early next week.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just exactly what we talked about, city prosecutors tonight.
And you're
We'll say-
first on the list.
we'll say hi to the owner.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
All right, so great, thank you, and, so we're just gonna postpone this, any objection?
No.
No.
Okay. Very good. We have a number of other just absolutely fascinating items to cover. I welcome you to stay, but don't, if you do want to cut out, it's not rude at
No,
all.
I
You're
know,
welcome
you know
to,
what? This next one is something that you do want to hear about.
Oh, yeah.
Because, these are council files.
Well, the
We
next
had a
one's a
nice-
cell tower.
Next one's Cell Tower, Mr. Mansker, sir.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's right.
You're getting
I've
ahead of yourself.
I've got the wrong agenda.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in how many cats people own, that's, next up after the cell
After the
tower.
cell
Well,
tower.
it's not so much the cats, it's the fact that they're council files. Council files become ordinances. And we get a chance to weigh in on them before they become ordinances. Because once they become an ordinance, it's like it's a law. And you get to weigh in and say, I don't like this, change it. And that's what these council files are about.
How about we do go in order?
But go ahead, go
All
ahead.
right, so, this next one's on the cell tower, 7715 Chatsworth. So if you go up White Oak to Chatsworth and make a left, and you look over on your right, there's a palm tree cell tower that's always been kind of in disrepair. The company's recently upgraded the antennas, which made them bigger and stand out more, and the camouflage has become even less effective. I apologize, I didn't have a chance to get a picture and bring it over, but the palm tree used to go up and it had a small array of antennas around the base near the top, and then there was the top array of antennas that are painted green with some palm fronds, which never really looked that great. But then they came out recently and they upgraded it and they put much larger antennas on the bottom. You might have seen them when they were out there. They stood off about 2 feet. They were larger and they were a bit of an eyesore. Well, the camouflage they put on there was a ring that has these brown fronds coming down that look like dead palm fronds on palm tree, right? So they put the pod with the dead palm fronds coming down to make it look like that, but they didn't do anything to the top of the tree. So it looks now like that kid we all knew in high school that had a small head and a big butt. That was me, but that's what this thing looks like now. You've got this big pod of dead fronds coming down, and up on the top there's this, a couple little shoots of the old broken up palm tree. So I think what happened was city planning, when they looked at this, they didn't look at the overall picture. They didn't say, well, the two parts of the tree have to actually match in the nature of the camouflage.
Yeah,
so we've got what we've got. I think we need to talk to AT&T and Crown Castle and Sprint and
Yeah.
see what, and city planning to see what can be done about this.
Yeah.
So, have you guys seen that thing? You'll notice it next time you go by.
So when you go up,
us.
you
It's on the
make a
north
left on
side
Chatsworth
behind the-
towards the Rouse.
Yeah,
On the
as soon
right-hand
as you
side?
make a left on White Oak, and as you're making that left, don't do this while you're driving, have your passenger do it, but look out to the right, you'll see behind this 2-story building that's there, it's a little office park, there's this tower that has these dead palm frond looking things coming down and just a little tuft of stuff on the top. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, they're supposed to be camouflage.
Right, I've seen some of them, yeah. They're interesting.
Not this time.
Yeah, well, we've actually had a lot of success with the cell companies around here in getting them to do a better job of camouflaging things. You'll see old towers that got put up a long time ago that have very little or insufficient camouflage, but the recent ones that have come up, we've got a good relationship going with the company that puts them in, and they've come here, they've talked about it, they've relocated the cell tower on the property, they've put higher quality camouflage on it. A lot of them, quite frankly, you wouldn't even know they're there. I mean, there's a cell tower at De La Salle Church on, is it Chatsworth and Havenhurst? Yeah, anyway, did even know it was there. It's a really good quality one. I actually knew it was there. I knew they put it in, and I drove by to see it. And I got halfway up the block, and I thought, well, where is it? They actually did a very good job. I can't keep my, that's why I got my phone stolen. Anyway, so I mainly put this on here just to bring it to everybody's attention and reach out and get in contact with Crown Castle and see if we can't get them to do something about that camouflage. So again, I want to carry this one to next month, and this one is one we could potentially do some outreach on, Jim.
Good. Now, I have to have like what it's about on a flyer, on a piece of paper before we distribute.
Right, right.
Don't wait till the last minute. You can't do everything.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason for here, is we can get started on it right away.
Okay.
All right, great. Any objection postponing that? Any other comment?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Eric, the cats are yours.
Okay. There's a council file going around that proposes to increase the number of cats per household. Right now, a household is limited to no more than, I believe, 2 cats, 3 cats. And what they're proposing is that a household can have up to 5 cats, or as many as 15. Now, that's
Wasn't it unlimited? I thought it was actually unlimited.
No,
It's 15.
It's
15?
It's 15. And the thing about it is, the problem is the city is under pressure from a lot of animal rights groups and everything to reduce the number of euthanized animals in the animal shelters. The problem is there's a lot of feral cats out there, and there's a lot of owners who feed these cats but don't claim the cats. Most people will not go out and pay for the spade, the neutering, or any of that stuff, and then feed the cats and everything else, and then have the city says that they're going to do that. They got this here spade neutering program, but they really believe some fairy tale in their minds that people are actually going to pay that. I know people who have cats, and they don't pay anything, and they're not going to start implementing that situation. And they name Santa Monica as an example, and they also name San Diego, but they erroneously claim that because they cherry-picked the rules under which those cities have cats. And like, after I did some research, the city of Santa Monica, for instance, has an ordinance that bans owners from allowing animals, including cats, to run at large in or upon private property. The thing about this, a lot of people have cats, and those cats are supposed to be house cats, but they're not. Those cats run free. They run on the other people's properties, they defecate, they fight, you can hear them at night, and this, that, and the other. Those cats are supposed to be indoors. So the city says, well, we'll implement this here fee. And the fee will pay for additional animal control officers to come out to your house. The problem is, we already have a shortage of animal control officers, and they already have a fee-based plan that is not working as it is. So this is just another plan to get the animal rights activists off their back and on to the stakeholders like yourselves. They don't care if you suffer, so long as they look good, because they're not euthanizing cats. So, you know, my thing is that, and the thing about this, I have testimonies from animal rights groups who thought this was a bad plan. And the very people they're trying to satisfy are saying, that's terrible.
Where are they?
Well, you got Actors for Animals, Actors and Animals, in fact, a friend of mine used to be part of that organization. They train animals for TV and different kind of work. Audubon Society, they didn't like the idea because it puts the onus on stakeholders. And the fact that they have not exemplified or shown that there is, that the plan that the city has put there, the animal department has put out, that it will work. They've given no examples of how it's going to work. They've given no breakdowns on any of the financial. It says here, there is no mention to the city needs to protect the interests of people who do not own or want cats on their property. If told the truth, all of those who want more than 3 cats already have them. And they're not going to pay to spay and neuter them. And that's a fact. That's been going on forever. A lot of people own cats and will not pay that $50 to $100 price. You know, most people have 1 or 2 cats that they really love. They'll take care of those, but they have a tendency of putting food out. So, you know, coyotes will come and eat and grab cats and everything else. You put food out, of course cats are going to come around. But those people are not going to say, oh, that's my cat. And you can't tell who owns. In fact, the fair definition of own cat, there's no, okay, what do you mean by an own cat? Or a foster cat? They've got all these terms, but there has no definitions for these cats. And then you've got the hoarders. You've seen those on TV, where you've got a house full of cats. You got fleas, the feces, all kind of disease. The cats are in terrible shape, but the people will tell you, "Oh, that's my poor cat." You can't do that. And what happens is they run free in the neighborhood, and the stakeholders are left. Hey, what's going on? How come nobody's taking care of these cats?
So, Eric, is it your take that this new ordinance is going to make that worse?
Yes, it really is. It's going to exacerbate the situation really badly. So this is one of the first council files that we're doing with the new Government Affairs Committee. I'm on that committee now, and we're going to. The only thing we can do is file an opposition to this council file from the neighborhood council and say we oppose this. So that's where that stands.
Is that your motion then? So
my motion is to oppose the increase of the number of cats owned by residents of the city of Los Angeles. Further, we are opposed to the concept of crowder. Crowder is a bunch of cats. And the fee inspection element of the proposal. That's my.
So that would be a cat house.
Yeah, cat.
I was leaving that for somebody.
Yeah.
And what a shock it would be you.
I have
Okay, Mr. Kuzma.
Oh. First of all, people don't own cats. Cat owns the people. You know, this thing, Santa Monica has an ordinance that bans owners from allowing animals, including cats, to run at large. Yeah, like they have control over their cat. Yeah. I mean, I owned a cat. I know, you know. And I want to say I'm actually allergic to cats, so yeah, no cats. But really what I want to say here is, what I really want to say is this is an issue for the Governmental Affairs Committee, not the Planning and Land Use Committee, because it's not really a planning and land use issue. It's really a governmental affairs issue.
I am on the government affairs.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're putting forth a motion from the Planning and Land Use Committee, and I believe that this issue is something that really should be addressed by this new Governmental Affairs Committee.
There is no, wait a minute.
If I can finish, please, because I see this is not a planning and land use thing.
Can I explain? We were at the meeting last night, so you didn't get an explanation of what the government
What meeting
affairs,
last night?
There was a special meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't get an email on it.
In that meeting, it was explained how the Government Affairs Committee works. Government Affairs Committee will never meet. There will not be a chair. it's only 5 people who are allowed to have the codes to register our complaints to the city. That's all it is. There's 5 board members who are allowed to have the passcodes to upload our opinion to the city.
Then why are you?
All of the council files are covered by public safety, planning and land use, education. All of the committees that we have, there are council files in which they deal with it. And anything that has anything to do with planning and land use issues, and yes, sometimes it crosses the line because a lot of these council files will be seen by various committees. And because of that, it can also come under planning and land use.
Okay, I